I'm Ashtootrippy and welcome to my channel.
Hey y'all, how you doing today? Welcome back to my channel, and we have a couple of new things to talk about. So let's talk about it, guys. So today I'm going to be doing kind of like an update segment on a lot of things that we have been talking about. We're going to go over Gypsy Rose. We are going to talk about Madeline Soto. We're also going to be talking about Sean Diddy Combs. You know, if you guys haven't heard yet, he has been taken into federal custody and he has been indicted. We have a lot to talk about with that. And also a couple of things like the TikTok couple that's currently getting slammed for leaving their kids in their room on a cruise ship. And just so many other things we're going to sprinkle in. So I hope you guys are prepared. So let's get to it. Buckle up and let's talk about it, guys. All right, so first off, we're gonna just start it off strong with some Gypsy Rose information. So if you guys have not seen, she has a fluctuating belly currently. As you guys know, I'm trying to kind of get away from talking about Gypsy Rose a little bit more. A lot of things I've started noticing around the community of content creators is that a lot of things make the rounds 2 or 3 times. Jail thing twice, pregnancy thing has been 3 times now, and we're going on the 4th with this right now. But it's just really crazy to me, and I just really feel I have a really strong belief that Gypsy is controlling the narrative, and all of these creators, the newer creators, some of the older creators, Gypsy and all the Blanchards that are all in this show together and all of this, including with Lifetime, are all just stacking their coins and they're getting people buzzing. I did a little deep dive today with Gypsy because I haven't really put together a lot of her lies since she was doing interviews and stuff like that. And yeah, it was wild. To say the least, there is a lot of lies within this story. Now, my people that still support Gypsy always bring me back to the light whenever I'm thinking like a little bit too conspiracy theory. And there's just a lot of things I think that are misconstrued in this case. Do I fully believe that Gypsy was abused? No. Do I fully believe that she's continuing to lie and profit from horrible things? Yes. And do I fully believe that the people that she surrounds herself with are also doing that? Yes. 125%. I believe that. But not to get into everything because, of course, you know, we can sit and talk about this all day, literally. But today we're talking about her deflating or inflating belly. Basically, a lot of people have given her past track record of lying. A lot of people are on a lot of different sides. So we have people that think she's not pregnant at all. There's people that say that she's maybe faking this pregnancy to gain attention, to sign another contract with Lifetime, to get her name more out there. A lot of people are saying that she is pregnant, but she could be way farther along. Some even speculate that she's had the baby already, which is super insane. And then there's the people that just think that she's telling the truth and we should let her live her life and do whatever she's doing right now, right? And in all honesty, I believe she's pregnant. I do believe she's pregnant. I think that there is something to gain from it, and she full on knew that. Now, one of my followers over on TikTok, she gave me a little bit of a theory, and again, this is a theory, this is nothing that is factual in any way, but she gave me a little theory as to why Gypsy Rose's belly seems to be inflating and deflating at the drop of a hat. We see a picture of her, and I'll try to pull it up to put it on the screen, of her at a comedy show, and she doesn't seem to have a belly. This is where she wore her autumn fashion look with her maternity pants that were way too big on her with her fly open, which, you know, that video I think was her style, not everyone else's. Again, criticize what you want to, whatever. But in that one, we see that she's not really showing too much, and you can't really see a belly. But then we see, about a day later, she posts a bump update. Now we're gonna get back to the bump update later, but she posts a bump update or whatever and shows her weeks, and she looks a little rounder. Now, we've noticed also, there's also a video of her in a bathing suit, and she's sitting by a very dirty pool and being pregnant and doing weird faces and stuff like that. But a lot of people noticed in that video that there was like a little like band along her belly, and it resembled what they use for fake bellies, like for movies and things like that. Now, one of the followers that came to me told me basically that this is something that TLC's show Unexpected did with the castmate Tiara. She actually went on social media and admitted that they wanted her to look a little bit farther along than she actually was, to kind of, how would you put it? So they wanted her to look farther along than she actually was, to make it seem like the cameras were following her along for longer than they actually were. So this is my whole scenario with this. And again, this is not facts. This is all, just my thoughts on this and what's going down. So what I feel like, because if you guys don't remember, a lot of people don't remember this. But she was on her live one day after, I think it was right before the season finale of Life After Lockup with Gypsy Rose. And she was talking and she was saying, I really hate how Lifetime portrayed, my situation. And there was a lot of things, including the whole donation to Make-A-Wish, that she wished they would have showed. She said this numerous times in lives, and she's spoke about it before, that she was very vocal with how she did not like how Lifetime portrayed her. Now, I believe that was still a thing. Like, I think that she still was feeling that way. Now, but I think she knew that she needed that Lifetime contract. So she was like, you know what, let me try to figure out what I'm going to do. Pregnancy came up and bam. Now, I don't think they've been filming since the end of last season. I think they just recently started filming again. Now, there's a couple ways you can tell that they're filming. So not only this whole belly bump scenario, but the places they're going out to eat for date night, Nobu, what they're wearing, it's just certain things you notice that are being released to the public. So the public sees it and they're like, oh yeah, well, maybe they were just taking pictures for that. Or maybe it was just a camera crew for that. Whatever, you know what I mean? So that's what happens when seasons of shows come out. I remember with the Kardashians, they didn't want for a long time that people to know that they were moving from E! Network to Hulu. And they said that they weren't being followed around by cameras, that these were just photographers or whatever, or people following them. There was just so much like speculation. I remember that completely. So there's a lot of ways of doing that. But yeah, so this has been known for reality shows to do this, just so you can kind of see what I am guessing. Here's what I'm guessing is they just started following her around. They're going to follow her up until probably December, until the baby's born, and then it's going to cut out completely. Now, will Lifetime try to bribe her with more money to do another season with the baby? Definitely. Now, will they do it? Yes, they will. Let me tell you why. Because she's already expensive to, like, now. Can you imagine when the baby's here? Can you imagine not only her and the baby having to be taken care of off of Ken's salary? And I'm sure Christy and Rod are still helping them. But it's going to be wild. So now also I want to remind you guys, with her social media accounts, she removed all of her bump updates because people were basically like, they were pinpointing like her weeks, because she was getting her weeks wrong. Now, I'm not defending Gypsy, but what you guys have to remember is the weeks in pregnancy and the way that you show in pregnancy differ dramatically from woman to woman. and from doctor to doctor. Right now, her weeks right now are the most accurate she's going to get her whole pregnancy, unless she knows the exact date she conceived, which it seems like they do from previous interviews. So we know that Aurora, Raina, Urker, Blanchard, whatever she decides the last name's going to be, is within this period of time. So this is the closest she's gonna get. So it can differ weeks. We were just talking about this morning in my live on TikTok. So if you guys don't follow me over there, definitely follow me. But we were saying how, kids can come any day between 35 weeks and 41 weeks. It differs so much. So given the fact they know when they got pregnant, if they haven't calculated, if she literally has not Googled how to calculate her date of birth, when she's going to give birth, I would be so surprised. But anyways, this has been known to happen. Let's remember she removed all her bump updates up until now, and everybody's saying that she posted a bump update for a certain reason, because somebody was asking about it. But honestly, I think that she thinks her fans were asking for it. I don't know what Delulu world, but nonetheless, we know Lifetime supports not only lies but also supports murderers. So what else are we gonna do with that? Whatever. So we're going to move on to a little bit of other matters here. So I'm going to talk about the TikTok couple that's being slammed for leaving their 2 sons in a cruise ship cabin while they went out to dinner. Now, when I first heard this, I wasn't surprised, because I was like, wait a minute, there's a piece of the puzzle missing. Because we've been seeing this a lot lately where people give half of the story, and I'm guilty of doing that as well, just because it's part of the content creation game. But they did put in their caption, nothing is as it seems. Now, I know from being on cruise ships in the past that they have nanny and babysitting services. That's what I initially thought it was. However, in looking into their updated video, they did say that they take their role as parents very seriously. And they basically just want people to know that they were on that cruise with family, and there was people in the room or a person watching their children all the time, regardless of them being asleep or not. It's really wild that this couple came under, this just came under fire for all of this. Children are only 1 and 2, they're little boys. And yeah, they've just admitted that, yeah, it basically wasn't all that it seemed. They did have a family member in the room. So their Instagram influencers, I'm not too much on Instagram. I know they have a TikTok too, but I just watched their video. Talk about Sean Diddy Combs for a little bit. He was arrested in a New York City hotel lobby. He's been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and kidnapping, and he was taken into jail last night. So as of right now, that was September 16th. It's September 17th right now. The U.S. attorney wants no bail set for him, as they stated he is a flight risk. Diddy's lawyer has stated and made a statement saying that all of these allegations are untrue, and they intend to work their hardest to free him of these allegations. Now, within the indictment notes, they found that during the searches of Combs' residence in Miami, Florida, and Los Angeles, California law enforcement seized various freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant that were used in hotels that Diddy would have these freak-offs at. Now, let me just tell you, to be a millennial and to hear that these things that I've been hearing my whole entire life, ever since Biggie had died, literally, I remember, when Britney Spears was famous and all this, people would say that Diddy parties were just, for all intents and purposes, freak-offs, pretty much. And to find out that that is all true is just completely and absolutely and utterly insane to me. It's just wild. It's crazy. But anyways, he's paying for every single bad thing he has done in his life, and karma is biting him so bad, and he's probably going to spend the rest of his life in federal prison. And I don't know, can we celebrate? Because I don't know. If you guys are fans of the Making the Band series, Dandy Kane with Sean Diddy Combs, Aubrey O'Day, who has been somebody that has spoke out against Diddy for a very long time, has said that she feels validated and she feels vindicated in this situation. And Queen, you did that. You did that. And also, you know, we got to shout out Cassie as well, who went through tremendous torture at the hands of this evil man. And, you know, just it's insane. It's insane to think that somebody that you've listened to music to and you've watched on the red carpet and you've seen do all of this. It's just crazy. It's just something out of a 50 Cent show. All right, y'all. So we're going to move into some hard-hitting stuff that's been going on with the Madeline Soto case. Now, police have released the interviews, the video interviews from Stephen Stearns and Jennifer Soto. And they've also released taking Stephen Stearns under custody, as well as gathering all the physical evidence from his person as well, which is very disturbing. So just to start this off, y'all, just fair warning to you, Madeline Soto is the 13-year-old little girl that was found to not only have been exploited by her mother's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns, but also was, at the end of the day, murdered by him as well. In the interview with Jennifer Soto, she's pretty calm, and she doesn't really react too much when the officers tell her that Stephen Stearns has been abusing her daughter for years. She kind of cries and she kind of gets a little anxious, but she doesn't full on like, oh my God, like, how can I not see this? You know, what you would think. And again, I mean, we can't assume because we've never been in that situation. But for a mother to sit there and not really have too much emotion when she's told that all of this stuff is on her boyfriend of almost 8 years' phone is just not right. So Stearns does face the death penalty for the sexual charges and the murder of Madeline Soto. He does have a trial date set for the murder. It's set for October 14th of this year right now. It does keep getting pushed back, and Stephen has not talked. Now, the interviews with Stephen Stearns were basically just very victim-y. Like, he was trying to play the victim in this situation. He was the one hurting. He was the one that needed comforting, things like that. After the police ask what is on his phone, he then does not speak anymore and just cooperates with them gathering his clothing and pictures of his body, including his hands, his chest, his genitals. So many triggering things there. Now, Jennifer does have immunity for what she has stated with giving information. Now, again, a lot of people are going over this and they're like, why did she get immunity if there was so much evidence within his devices and the cameras that were caught? We don't know. Honestly, I think that the police officers working this case kind of do feel for her as being a mother, and I think that they do believe her in a little sense. It's not to say that charges will not come. I'm personally hoping for a charge of neglect for her daughter at the very least, because at the end of the day, she caused her daughter's murder. That's just how it is. That's how it goes, okay? And in my opinion, I believe that she knew what was happening, and instead of asserting herself and saying, no, this is not going to happen, she basically over time became okay with it. Like she said in her interview, she didn't want this to turn into a Woody Allen situation, and that's exactly what it was turning into. As we saw, we have also heard Madeline Soto was starting to find interest in boys, so there's always that speculation in wondering, is this a reason why Stephen Stearns ultimately murdered Maddie? Or was it just sexual? We don't know. We don't know. And there's so many unanswered questions that hopefully this trial on October 14th will solve. Now, we have to remember with the trial date, it can be pushed back. However, the judge was asked previously, when it was a pushback previously, if they can push it back 30 to 45 days, and the judge only agreed to push it back the 30 days. So hopefully the judge is just wanting to get this taken care of and send Stefan to death row where he's supposed to be. We can only hope, right? We can only hope. So that's all I have for you guys today as far as updates go. I will be coming at you guys with some updates every week. I'm hoping to do another deep dive. If you guys want to see a deep dive into a case, definitely let me know down below. I will be looking through each and every one of them. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, we have memberships now. So I have memberships available, and I have 2 available, and you'll belong to the trippy-tribe fam. And I will be going live on here. I'm hoping for sometime this week, but if I don't, definitely next week. Keep on keeping on, guys. That's all I have for you today. It's kind of a short one, but I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay positive, stay awesome. Until next time, guys, we'll talk about it. Bye.
Thanks for watching Trippy Tribe, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button.